So can you tell us your full name, the name you were born with?
My whole name?
Your whole name.
MannyKolski.
And when and where were you born?
Poland, Łódź. It is a documentary? A documentary?
Kind of. And what year were you born, Manny?
1914, 1914.
So how old does that make you?
Almost 101. August gonna be my 101.
And what is your religious identity?
Jewish.
That's my favorite answer. Manny, how many siblings do you have?
I had 3 sisters.
3 sisters. Manny, can you give us a brief description of your experience during the war? Like how many camps you were in, what happened to your family members, what happened to you?
I was in the army, Polish army, and 2.5 years. And then I was relieved from the army, and I was at home for a year. Then I was mobilized till the war broke out with Germany. So I went to the war, and then I was in prison camp. I was a POW. Yeah. And then they released all the Jews from the camp, released them home. From there, they couldn't take them to the concentration camp as a POW.
Yeah.
So they made out of you a civilian, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and I lived in larger ghetto, you know, till 1945, poor. And when I came home, my father and mother was there. My sisters were already going. Then my father passed away, and I was with my mother. When they liquidated the ghetto, they took us to Auschwitz. So my mother went left and I went right. You know how it was. And then from Auschwitz, they sent me to different camps. In the last, we went for a dead march, you know.
Yeah.
March of the Dead. I wind up in Bergen-Belsen. And then from Bergen-Belsen, they need some people to work because the American airplane and the British airplane bombed all the, so they needed, they bombed a train with all kind of stuff there, so they needed 500 people. So I volunteered for Bergen-Belsen. I didn't know where they're gonna send me, but I volunteered anyway. I wanna go out for that camp.
Yeah.
So they sent me to Hanover.
Oh, okay.
So we worked on the railroad station.
Yeah.
We fixed it by day and by night. The American came the plane, and then the British plane, and they bombed it.
Yeah.
And then they bombed the camp, but we were living there.
Yeah.
And then they sent us back to Bergen-Belsen, but Sam couldn't make it.
Yeah.
He was sick, his father was sick, so he stayed behind it. He gave up. So happened he got liberated a few weeks before us, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was still in Bergen-Belsen. That was, I was liberated by the British, yeah.
Yeah. So how many camps total were you in? Like 5 or 4?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to a lot of camp. I can't even remember the names, yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Gross Rosen, I was in Majdanek, I was in Bergen-Belsen, I was in close to Berlin, in a camp, yeah. In prison camps.
And for how many years or how many weeks were you in all of these camps for? Like a few years?
Yeah, but about 5 years. Since 1939 till 45.
Yeah. And you said all 3, none of your sisters made it out?
I go sisters, uncles and cousins and nephews, nieces, yeah. Okay.
Manny, when did you first come to the U.S.?
1949.
And how did you get here? Did someone sponsor you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Federation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to go to Israel, but that time was the British. They didn't let it go, you know, because of the Arabs, yeah. So I decided to go to America.
And at that time, had you met your wife, or did you meet your wife here?
No, I met her after we were liberated.
Okay.
We got together, you know, we were traveling,
Yeah.
looking for families.
Yeah.
She lived a couple blocks away from me, but I didn't know her. It's a big city, yeah.
So you guys met in Europe, and then you decided to come here.
What?
So you met, did you guys come to the U.S. together?
Yeah, I got married in Germany, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My daughter was born, my oldest daughter was born in Germany. She was 2 years when we came here.
And Manny, what was your first job when you got to the U.S.?
The first job, I worked in a glass factory. That's a factory, a glass company on the north side. They had delivered glass and mirrors and all kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at the ramp. I loaded the trucks that came through, delivered the stuff to the stores. And I unloaded from a train.
Yeah.
It was a train coming through with the,
Yeah.
yeah. I worked there for 3 years. Then I went away and I worked in a candy shop. Used to be in Dimbling, but you are too young to remember that. This was 1949.
Yeah.
Then Dimbling sold a factory, candy factory,
Yeah.
and this was in the Union bakery confectionery. So
Oh,
I
okay.
became a baker.
Baked candy.
Yeah. In Europe, I was a weaver. I worked in a weaver shop, factories.
Yeah. So is that what you did for the rest of your?
Yeah,
Like your
I
career?
worked for 30 years as a baker, yeah. I retired when I was 62. I didn't want to wait till 65.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
And Manny, how many children do you have?
What?
How many children do you have?
2 daughters, yeah. I got 5 grandsons from 2 daughters.
Yeah.
2 and 3, yeah.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Very good. Manny, what would you say one of your favorite things to do, like now, is? What do you like to do during the day?
I used to walk a lot,
Yeah?
but my legs gave up. I can't anymore.
Yeah.
I walk a little bit, I get tired. I used to run,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, it was very physical, yeah. But my legs gave up. Now I like to read a lot. Yeah, I have books, so many, yeah. And I like to watch television because I can't walk anymore so much. Then I go for lunches to the JCC.
Yeah.
On the weekend, I have a daughter here. One lives here, one lives in California.
Oh.
So on the weekend I go to her.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I have 2 grandsons. One is here, one is in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like hanging out with your family?
Oh, yeah. What else you want to know?
Your experiences during the war, would you say that they held you back as a person at all?
They hold me back.
Did they hold you back, your experiences?
Can you imagine? I was 23 years old. That's all.
Yeah.
The best years. I didn't believe from one second to the next that I survived. It's a miracle.
It is.
Sometimes you watch Holocaust things.
Yeah.
You see dragging people from one to the grave.
Yeah.
I was dragging the people to the grave.
Did you?
Yeah.
Manny, where was your wife during the war? What happened to her? Was she in camps as well?
She was in a woman camp.
Yeah.
Not far away. Yeah.
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 I think that's all my questions I have for you, unless you want to tell us anything else about yourself.
What can I say? Nothing to say.
No. Very lucky. I appreciate you telling us, Manny.
You have, did that finish transfer?
Yeah.
Okay. You can keep it.
Thank you, Manny.
I'm very emotional.
That's okay.
I was special in camps. Yeah. Some people didn't went through what I went. I
Yeah.
went through a war.
It's amazing that you're here with us.
Hitler is dead and I'm alive.
Yep.
Yes, you are. Do you want us to take a picture of you? Do you have a picture of your wife? We can have, take a picture of you, and do you have a little one? We can take a picture of you holding the picture of your wife. If you want.
This one?
Yeah.
I have plenty of pictures, my
You
wife.
do have a lot of pictures.
Yeah. So you can just hold that up, but I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
Could you angle it a little bit more towards me? Yeah.
There you go.
Let me adjust this real quick. One more. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Manny, I think we're good.
We'll put your apartment back into place.
Yeah. I'm sorry we tore apart your apartment. We'll try to put it back together.
How did the other people react?
You know, it's been different because, you know, some weren't in camps at all, and then we have people like you who spent so long in such terrible places. A few have gotten upset. I've gotten upset.
Mrs. Brown almost didn't make it.
I know.
She was a skeleton.
They mentioned her in a book, and she showed the book to me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You guys are very, very strong people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shalance didn't went through what we went through.
No, very different.
She was in France, yeah.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Poland was the wrong place to be.
Hmm?
Poland was the wrong place to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's an understatement. I went to Poland, Manny.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back.
Did you?
When did you go?
I went last year.
Oh, last year.
And I went to
With typical?
no, it's my college is called Gratz, Gratz. It's out near Philadelphia. And I went cuz I'm getting my master's in Holocaust studies. So we went on a school trip and did all the tour of all the ghettos and the
Oh.
camps. Yeah.
Where were you in Poland?
Everywhere. I was we went to Lodz, where you were
You
from.
went to Lodz?
We were in Warsaw.
So you know what Lodz was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived in Lodz. I was born in Lodz.
Yeah.
You went to Warsaw.
Mhm.
You went to
Krakow.
Krakow, yeah. You
Yeah.
went to Majdanek, yeah.
Yeah. Majdanek was the first camp that we went to.
Yeah.
And
I was in Majdanek, yeah, yeah.
that's it, yeah.
You went to Sobibor?
No, we didn't. Sobibor was the only one we didn't go to.
Treblinki?
Mhm.
You went to
We went to Treblinka, Belzec,
Belzec too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auschwitz, Majdanek.
I know,
Went to all of them, and that was hard. You know.
yeah.
So I'm very, very appreciative that I get to meet all of you and you guys talk to me. And I appreciate you telling your story to us. Very much so.
It's hard to believe. Sometimes I don't believe myself.
It's a, yeah. There's not really many words to describe it, I think.
So it's good to go for a trip like this.
It is. Yeah, I think none of us, it was all students and none of us had any idea.
People don't believe it.
I know,
They have-
I know.
I wouldn't believe myself.
I think the more that we talk about it and the more that we show people, the more that those people that say it never happened are gonna go away. Because you can't stand in the face of something like this and say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I hope that, someday I will see that day where no one will
You
say
took
that.
the tour in Krakow in the salt mine.
Yeah,
You went through.
yeah. I was scared because I don't like small spaces like that, but it was so beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Poland is a cool place. It's got a lot of unique things, and especially its Jewish history is very neat. So it was cool to go back with everybody that knew the history and look at all the sites and stuff. It was very cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
What they can make out of salt.
I know. I was so shocked when we got down there. I was like, wait a minute.
They showed the church down
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
All the
Poland. It's
figures,
crazy.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything made out of salt.
And then I forget how they were telling us how they brought the supplies or something down there when they carved it all out, or they lived down there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really cool. So it was great. It was a good learning experience, good experience as just a person.
Yeah.
So I would encourage everyone to go.
It's a nice city, Krakow. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Warsaw was my favorite.
Oh yeah, Warsaw was the
Old town
the capital. Yeah.
in Warsaw.
Oh, the older town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool, all the really, really old buildings, and they're all so tall and colorful.
Oh, you should have seen before the war.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had a lot of postcards of pre-war Warsaw, and then after it was demolished.
Because for 4 years the German, 4 years the Russian come in, they didn't do nothing.
I know.
The German didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
They took everything out, whatever they
Yeah.
could. The Russians took out everything they could.
Poland was in the worst shape after the
I
war.
know, the Poland was
It was a beautiful country that a horrible thing happened to.
a little country, but it's a good country.
Yeah.
You heard of that king, Kazimierz,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
He
So cool.
invited the Jews from Spain, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It was really cool to go back last year because they're having a bunch of new museums are coming up and new institutions. We got a tour of this museum that wasn't even open yet, and it was a museum of Jewish history.
Where?
It had to have been in Warsaw, and it was huge. It was the coolest place I've ever seen. The architecture of the building was insane. It's right by the there's a big memorial that Nathan Rappaport did, and it's right beyond that memorial. But it's brand new, and actually one of my professors was helping develop it and doing all this research, so we got to see it before it opened. It's open now, but it's really cool because the younger generations, the kids our age, are asking questions, and they're like, why are we need to talk about this history and face it, and so they're starting all these cultural institutions, and I mean it's wonderful to go back and
The
see
most
people.
Jews lived in Poland in
Yeah.
Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
We had 3.5 million Jews
Yeah.
lived in Poland,
Yep.
but 30 million people,
Yeah.
yeah. France only had 500,000.
Yeah.
Germany had 500,000.
Yeah. It was in Poland.
But the Poland was 3.5 million.
Yep.
All the factories, everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's going, the Jewish life and the Jewish culture is getting back into Poland, which is really
Were
good
you
to
on
see.
the cemeteries?
Yeah, those are really cool. They're
Lots cemeteries.
yeah. We went
Oh,
to
my God.
and they're everywhere too. Like we kept finding them everywhere. We went to the really big one and it had to have been in Warsaw as well.
Yeah.
And this really cute elderly gentleman took us through the whole thing.
That's right.
And the cool thing about Jewish cemeteries is like there's just trees. Like it's not cleared and it's just like
Because nobody take care of them.
but it's kind of
They used-
beautiful.
We used to go on like on vacation. There were
Yeah.
cities,
Yeah.
streets, beautiful. I remember when I was young, we went from school on vacation
Yeah.
on a tour. Like you went to a park,
Yeah.
not to a cemetery.
I know they were beautiful.
Did you see the Poznański?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a cool place to go. Poland is, it's got so much history. And those cemeteries, they were actually like my favorite
And the
part.
Jews brought into Poland.
Yeah,
They brought in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's coming back. Poland is going in the right direction with their education system and their culture. And so that was wonderful to see, us studying, the Holocaust, and we're finally seeing these people.
They didn't behave good
No.
during the war.
No.
No, they didn't behave good.
And so
That's why they made the camps in Poland.
yeah. And I think they took advantage of the geography of Poland as well, because it was so rural. So they knew that they could, seclude it.
They could,
Yeah.
because, they had help from the Poles.
Yeah. I always think of, when I went there, I couldn't help but feel bad for Poland, because it is beautiful. And it's got
It's
this.
a beautiful city, beautiful.
Yeah. But it's good. It's really, really positive to see that they're moving in the right direction with the education and everything, because that's the only way that,
It's too late.
yeah,
Those are gone.
yeah,
3.5 million.
yeah,
That's a lot.
Just Poland, just Lodge.
yeah.
Poland, yeah,
Poland suffered,
yeah.
and so did everybody that was there.
But Germany took out day and night. Transport went with all stuff,
Mhm.
everything to Germany.
Yeah.
Poznański was the richest person in the world.
Mhm.
He made a bet with the king. No, Paul was a president.
Yeah.
That I can make this letter faster,
Yeah.
that he can print it.
Yeah.
He built for every generation, for every Poles, for Jews, for everyone.
Mhm.
They had Germans too, even in Poland.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of Germans. He built a church, he built a school, he built a club, he built hospitals for every
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
He got every sons and children that lived not palace, what they call it, like the king in England. What they call it?
Oh, like a
Castle.
castle. Castle.
They had 4 castles in Lodz.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been to one?
I haven't been to them, but we
You
talked
heard
about
of-
them.
you had
Yeah.
talked about it,
Yeah. So. All right, Manny.